Hi guys, Choco here, welcome to the cave. Today we're making a mushroom and lentil pasta sauce. No hint of meat involved in this meal. Preheat some olive oil or rapeseed oil, just enough to cover the pan. Oh, it's really hot again. I'm really not good at judging that. So we have here we've got 2 celery sticks, as small as you can chop them. We've got 1 onion, again as small as you can chop it. I'm going to turn that heat down in a minute. And we've got 1 carrot, as small as you can chop it. Right, let me just get a thing to stir. Right, I'm going to turn that down, like right down. Right, it's a bit calmer now. I can talk now. Right, so turn the heat right down. So what we want to do is, it's a bit like doing a soup. We're going to wait for these vegetables to be really soft. If you feel like there's not enough moisture coming out of these and they're getting sticky to the pan, just add a little bit of water. It's absolutely fine, just enough to lubricate the saucepan. Basically, it'll be absolutely fine. Probably take about 5 to 10 minutes. So whilst they are softening, what I'd like you to do is chop 2 cloves of garlic, as small as you can, and how much is it? A big punnet, I think it's 400 grams of mushrooms, just all normal cheapy mushrooms. So chop those as small as you can. Oops. Right, so it's about 7 minutes later. Well, it's exactly 7 minutes later because I was timing it. These are nice and soft now, and they're just about starting to catch on the pan. I haven't had to add any extra any water at all. So we're just going to see what happens next. And what is about to happen next is adding in the chopped mushrooms. This is as much as I can chop mushrooms. Hidden under that, under those mushrooms, you'll see, with the big reveal, is the garlic. I don't know if you can see, I've got the 2 cloves of garlic in there. Just going to see what happens if I do actually need to add any water right now, because what's going to happen anyway is that the mushrooms are going to kind of cry as they cook, and they're going to release some water. So yeah, that may be the first time you've heard about crying mushrooms, but that's what they do. So we'll just see how much water they generate. So basically we're just going to cook these for 5 minutes. I'm just going to keep an eye on these and see if they need any water. So let's just get them cooking. Oh, in the meantime, whilst that's happening, we've kind of done all our chopping now. So what you're going to do is boil your kettle and get ready to do the pasta bit of it. So let's multitask. Right, so these have been cooking away for about, I'd say, about 5-6 minutes. The mushrooms have cried. So you can see there's some water there. There was a lot more water, but most of it is going now, and that's kind of what we want. A little bit of moisture is absolutely fine. So now we're going to add in some more ingredients. We're going to add in, don't know if you can see, focus. We're going to add in a teaspoon of oregano. Okay, oops, sorry, just pour that in. I don't know what I did. It's almost like I did that on purpose, but I swear I didn't. And then we're going to add in a tablespoon Sorry, that's really made me laugh. A tablespoon of tomato puree. Right, okay, I'll try not to be I'll be more careful. So a tablespoon of that, we'll just give that a mix in. I'm so ridiculous. Put that away. And now, if you did the bacon and lentil soup the other day, you will have half a pack of some pew lentils left. Now, I made a mistake and I used the wrong lentils, but it was delicious anyway. So just use, if you correctly use the plain ones, then you'll still have half a pack left. Now, if you haven't cooked the soup, the easiest way to do this, well, there's two different ways. Either use half this pack and use the full amount of mushrooms that I have said to use. If you want to use, if you want to stay with these kind of proportions, then obviously you're just going to use half of this pack. It's 250, and you're going to be using about 125. So whatever you've got in, basically, is what I'm saying. If you've got 200 grams of mushrooms, about 200 grams of mushrooms, and a whole pack of this, then that's what you're going to use. If you've got more mushrooms than you have lentils, then you're going to use half a pack of lentils and 400 grams of mushrooms. I hope that is clear, because it's never going to get any clearer than that. And like I say, I'm just using these ones. These are really tasty. So I'm okay with the more flavour. I'm alright with that. So, whoops. Trying to scoop all of those out. We can just kind of pretend that I've done that. I'm going to add those in a second, because it's just adding to recording time. So just give those a stir in, and then you're going to add, my voice is going again, excuse me, and then you're going to add in 400 grams of chopped tomatoes. Okay. So just give that a stir in. And basically it's going to be about 10 minutes from now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our pasta on, and by the time the pasta is cooked, this will be good to go. I'm going to do a sniff test in a minute. I don't know, let me just put it away. Oh, that smells really good. That does smell good. Right, okay, so get your pasta going on now. Just one thing I want to add, so I don't know if you can see, but I've got my pasta on right now. What I'd recommend that you do is put your lid on, okay, whilst you're waiting for your pasta to cook and for this just to sort of cook through a little bit more. Put your lid on, because that will keep the steam in, and it'll, I think that's what it does, but it sort of like keeps the moisture on the sauce. I think, I don't know what technically what it does, but it how that works, but it does work. So just cook with the lid on once you're waiting for your pasta. Okay, right, so the pasta is finally cooked. It must have taken about 12 I keep being really precise, about 12-15 minutes. Took forever, but all the time this has been going away. Ow, that saucepan's really hot. And that's what it looks like when it's ready. I mean, it was probably ready about 5 minutes ago, but I'm quite happy with that. Like I say, good idea to keep the saucepan lid on, so that can come off the heat and just serve it up. Right, so this is how we serve it. It's gone with some tagliatelle, just some sort of like long pasta is probably best with it. You know, like spaghetti, linguine, just like the long stuff. But if you've only got pasta spirals, use them. It's not going to be the end of the world. Sometimes just a sauce, like, it seems better with certain pasta. And just some cheese on. Now again, you'd probably, like, you know, if you had children that weren't trolls like mine, and they don't like parmesan, or however you say that, they just don't like it, so we're just using cheddar. Just some normal smart price cheese. It's only me that likes different kinds of cheese. So that's it, it's good to go, and I'll talk to you in a sec about how much is left over and all of that, and freezing. Okay. Hi, so I'm back. This is how much we've got left over. I've taken out 2 portions so far because I'm just not hungry right now. So I would say you've got 5 portions in the thing that we've just cooked. I reckon there's an easy 3 in there. Like, look at that, you've got that much left. Yeah, an easy 3. So definite for 5-person family, or 5-portion dinner is maybe another way to see it if you're on your own. It's good to freeze this, so all I'll be doing is, we'll be having this tomorrow. I'll be letting it cool down, sticking it in the fridge, and then I'm just going to microwave it. And it wouldn't take long to reheat this. We don't need to worry too much because there's no meat in it. Obviously, if you're on your own, or however you want to freeze it, just freeze it into portion sizes. Either put it in bags or tubs. They're probably a bit more eco-friendly. Once it's cooled down, and then stick it in the freezer. And that's it. There's some really good ingredients in this, so we always like it when there's lentils involved. They're really good for you. There's no salt or pepper added into this. I personally think it will benefit from a bit of salt. I'm not too fussed about the pepper, but a bit of salt would go well with this. Again, it's easier just to let the person add their own salt at the end. And that's it. It's really nice, dead cheap, dead quick, well, relatively quick. There's a bit of waiting around, to be honest. There's a little bit of waiting around for things to soften, and the initially, and then the mushrooms to be done, but after that it's like dead quick. But we can always do other stuff in those few minutes, and you don't really need to stand over it too much either. So I think that makes it a pretty family friendly meal. Or just if you don't like standing over stuff, which is what I don't either. So it's any person's friendly meal. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Enjoy it.